Hello everyone, today I'm going to walk you through harvesting and dehydrating your fresh homegrown thyme. Don't forget to head over to the blog for your free seed viability chart. Excellent to keep with your seed collection to let you know what seeds are going bad. And don't forget to join our Facebook group because I will have free seeds up for grabs this fall. All links will be in the description and in the comments. Carrying on, do you remember whenever I re-sowed my thyme pot earlier this year? Well, this is the end result, a lush, happy, healthy pot of thyme that is absolutely ready to be harvested and dehydrated for our family's spice cabinet. These plants have done a lot of growing over the spring and summer, and they are very tangled up. So at first I'm trying to untangle some of these plants, only to realize that it's just not gonna happen. The goal here is to separate the smaller branches from the main stem where those branches are growing from. Cutting the brown stems, the lower stems, may harm the plant, so we don't want to do that. We just want to take the younger, tender green growth and we want to bring that into the kitchen. It's always a good idea to leave some greenery on the plant so that it can still photosynthesize, so that it can grow more branches before winter. This will give you multiple flushes over the course of the year. We are heading into fall, so I want to make sure that my plant is thinned out pretty well. Well, plants, plural, so that I get a very nice large flush ahead of the winter weather. You could also just kind of clear cut your thyme and replant the pot, but in my personal opinion, thyme is a very slow growing herb. If you can preserve the main plant while harvesting most of the leaves, you'll save yourself a lot of time versus reseeding the pot. I pulled up a whole plant here to trim down the leaves and kind of show you what you're really going for while you're trimming your thyme. Again, as you can see, this is a mess of tangled plants because I threw probably a couple hundred seeds in there. I just sort of emptied a packet into the pot. And since thyme likes to root along the length of the plant, it can be hard to kind of figure out what plant is which, what's rooted where. So I really like this method of just sowing it really thick, as I can kind of go through and just cut without harming all of the plants. Some of them may die, but it's just a lot easier, and I find that I seem to get a lot more of a yield whenever I do it this way. Towards the end of the video, you're going to see an updated clip on my thyme pot, and you'll see how it has regrown since these clips here. Unfortunately, after harvesting, it's no longer that pretty lush green pot that you saw at the beginning of the video, but that just means that we successfully went from seeding our thyme to growing our thyme to harvesting our thyme for our families to indulge in fresh home-cooked meals. You can see that this harvest was actually quite large. I mean, this is a big handful of thyme. Don't let it fool you though, because once you dehydrate it, there's not going to be much left here. But the thing about homegrown thyme is those woody stems are excellent for cooking with, not just the leaves. They do so much for soups, stews, roasts, whatever it may be. They add so much flavor. So just like any other produce, you're going to want to wash your thyme and allow it to dry out a little bit before you dehydrate it. If you're growing your thyme naturally, organically, there are going to be bugs hiding out amongst your thyme. I find lots of little spiders. It's just a great little place for spiders to live. Whether or not you wanted that knowledge, you've got it now anyways. Nature is going to be nature, so wash out your thyme before you dehydrate. Afterwards, just pat it dry and begin loading down your dehydrator trays. Just be sure that you have a little space between each sprig. Good airflow is vital for dehydration. I put my dehydrator on the low setting, 95 to 104. Dehydrating at a lower heat is less harsh than it would be at a higher heat, because at a higher heat you can lose flavor and color. So with herbs, it's always better to dehydrate them on a lower setting. Once dehydrated, most of the stems should snap. Leaves will shrivel and be brittle as well. You want a low moisture content whenever you store your thyme, otherwise you risk spoilage just like any other dehydrated food. I also highly recommend adding a silica packet to absorb moisture and an O2 absorber packet to prevent spoilage. However, go ahead and skip on the oxygen absorber packet if you are going to be opening the jar and using it almost right away. Put the O2 absorber packet in any jars that you may not touch for the next 3 to 6 months. They are almost pointless if you're opening the jar anyway, so they're better for jars that are being pushed to the back of the pantry that you plan to use, say, after Christmas. They are really geared towards long haul storage, while silica packets are even more helpful in jars that you are using right away. So, how long does the thyme last after you dehydrate it? Well, I don't really have an honest answer for you. I have not had thyme long enough for it to actually go bad on me, but I am still using some thyme that I dehydrated in spring of last year. So that thyme is about 1.5 years old. It is sitting on my countertop right now, and it still tastes perfectly fine. So while most websites might recommend 6 months to a year, me personally, I just find that to be a modest suggestion. I'm going to continue using my old thyme until either I run out or it begins to not add as much flavor to the dish as it once did. It has taken a long time to go from recording some of this video to editing and posting, so you're going to see how my thyme is now doing. I will put the number of days that it's been up on the screen, but this thyme is growing back so beautifully. You can see it starting to fill in from the bottom as well. So don't be afraid, cut back your thyme and get ready for the fall harvest. With cooler night temperatures, my thyme is really bouncing back from the summer heat. Don't forget to check out our Facebook group, our blog, and join our email list. You get a free copy of my seed viability chart, which is a PDF that you can download just by signing up. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great week.